10 minutes to Wapner. F*** off! Okay, so what are we gonna do this week? We gotta come up with another idea for video.
Well, I came up with the idea last time, so what's your idea?
I was thinking about it, and there's gotta be a way to do this. Porn.
No,
You guys.
I don't want to be sticky there.
Okay, what's a better idea?
We shoot the cameraman with my laser.
But doesn't it burn?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The leg hurts.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Ah,
Ow!
there you
Ow!
go. There we go.
Okay, that probably wasn't.
It's
Family
funny,
services.
Yeah, that was funny, but I don't think we can pull that off.
but okay.
Okay, somebody come up with a better idea than that. Justin, have you been thinking? What do you got?
I thought we could build a tater gun. Does
Oh,
anyone
yeah.
know how to do that?
Totally. Randy's built a tater
I
gun.
built it when I was 14.
Could you do it again?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, that-
You haven't seen his tater gun.
Let's do it.
Let's
do it, man.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so I guess we decided to build a potato gun today. So, first thing we need is to get all of your parts laid out and all the tools you're going to need just to make sure you've got everything you need. First, you need a combustion chamber. This is a 4-inch piece of PVC, Schedule 40, so it's thick enough to take the combustion of whatever you're going to use for fuel, and a smaller, like 2-inch barrel, something like that. You can go to 1.5 inches, but it's hard to find some of the reducers and things you need to make it work properly. So I usually go with about a 2-inch barrel. Then you'll need a 4-inch to 2-inch reducer, a 4-inch cleanout, as well as other assorted connectors and whatnot that I will show you here in just a second. Just test fit that piece, and we're going to set this on here kind of like this, and I'm just going to mark it with a little bit of whatever, just so I know right where I'm going to put it at that distance. So now, I'll take my drill, and I'm going to drill one big hole right here. Perfect igniter. So there we go. On the side, we just want to put a hole there. Okay, now you want to insert one of your bolts. You want to reach inside, and this is why it's much easier to do this before you put the thing together. So there's your anode. See what I've done. You can kind of see down inside there. We'll go ahead and get it snapped in that hole there. Now, and hold that in place. That's the idea. And then we'll feed these wires into this hole. Pull everything through. And there is the start of the ignition system for your potato gun. One thing you're going to have to do, this is close enough to this side, what you can really do is bring these up and over and just say, okay, that's the longest that this would ever have to be. So I'm going to take both of these and cut them off there. Now, this part's going to be extremely boring for you and probably cut out. But what you have to do is you have to reach up inside here past all of this. And what you'll see, if you look in here, spark. The next thing is pretty much to build the rest of the potato gun. Now, oh, one other thing we'll be doing this hole that we created in there, I'll get another shot of this before as I'm filling it, you will get blow by. So for this, we actually want to use some of this epoxy and fill in that hole. It'll just fill in, it'll glue this in, but it's never gonna come out anyway. So it'll just fill that in and make sure that that doesn't happen. Now, from a rest of the Tater gun perspective, let's move the parts over here. This is gonna go real fast. Two ways you can do this. You could, if you weren't worried about breaking this down or fitting it anywhere, you could just glue your tube in here. But the thing is, I don't like to carry around something that's 4 feet long. So I tend to want to use some extra pieces to make it detachable. So then I mount this in here, I mount this in here. It gives me an extra couple inches for a barrel and makes it detachable. So let's go ahead and mount all of these. If these aren't straight, it doesn't really matter because aiming a Tater gun never really works, right? But anyway, if this, you just kind of want to get it back, kind of like sighting a pool cue, you know, you just want to turn it and make sure the end isn't moving, and this looks perfectly straight, just like my last one that also was built with this. These are basically, if you've done any type of woodwork before, these are just some coarse rasps. So you can use these to rough file down the ends of the barrel. So you just want to get them on a good solid surface and start shaving down that edge. The only thing we have left to do is to seal this underneath side with some epoxy. So let's get the epoxy back out. You just want some of the 2-part epoxy resin, hopefully with a big long applicator like this. Just want to fill that hole up. It's okay if you run over a little bit. And there you have it. A complete finished Tater gun. Now these things tend to kick a little bit, but this, get a shot right here. This is why I make my barrels removable. So it's much easier to get the potato into the barrel. Now, get a close up of the end of the barrel. I tend to chamfer my barrel a little bit there to make it almost like a blade, so it's much easier to get a potato into it. So, just put said potato on ground, something like that. You can core it, and then you have a potato right there. Okay, so you take something, a broom handle, whatever you got, smaller piece of PVC, and you need to ram that potato most of the way down that tube. Not all the way, it'll stop when it gets to the end. You just want it down on the other end. And screw these back together. You can leave these together, it gets to be quite an ordeal flipping this whole thing around to get a potato in it, and yeah. Anyway, so, butt off. And Aquanet's about the best stuff you can use for propellant. It uses propane as the propellant out of the can. Usually works very, very well. Okay, don't screw anything together too tight, and you just hit your igniter and there's your potato.
bitch.